So today we are going to be talking about what is a coach really, um, and why we deserve to be paid. And the reason why I'm talking about this is all last week I did my entire series talking about where are the mainstream Black coaches and healers. Um, and apparently, everybody really liked that conversation. I got a lot of engagement. I got some DMs. I got just, it was great. I'm enjoying it. And the funny thing is, people are still engaging in those posts. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Um, so yeah, it all started with me asking about this. And then, everybody just showed up and showed out and was part of the conversation. So I appreciate it so, so much. So today is a little bit different because I wanted to touch on and introduce to the conversation of what a coach actually is, because a lot of people get it twisted about what a coach really is, what a coach really does. So I just want to kind of talk about that a little bit. Um, and I also want to talk about why does hiring a coach, especially a Black coach, matter? Okay. So let's get into it. So even in the year of our Lord 2026, and we're in this information era where everything that we ever could want to know or need to know is literally at our fingertips, holding it in our hand via our phones or our tablets, or, if we're using our laptops or whatever we're doing, we have the access to information. And even with all the information that's out there and the access that we have, a lot of people still don't understand what a coach is and what a coach does. So I am a spiritual liberation coach for Black women and women of color who are in midlife. Not only in midlife, but at this point in their midlife, they're at a point where it's like, okay, my identity before I got here, I'm ready to burn that to the ground and start all over again, because I have this new life that is springing forth. And what I do is I teach, I guide, I use energy healing, readings. I use all my tools and experience to help you build on that, to help you come out of your shell, to help you build your confidence. I'm doing all of these things, and I'm helping you shed that old identity and that old religious dogma that you might still be kind of wrestling with, but you know that you are deconstructing it. And that was just kind of a long, drawn out way to explain what I do. But I wanted you to just get the feel of where I'm going in this conversation. So if you're new here, put that in the comments. I'm new here. That way I can shout you out and say hello to you. So let's go a little bit further. So let's talk about the textbook definition of what a coach is, and then we'll talk about what mine is, okay? And it would have been helpful if I had my notes up, but no, nevertheless, we gonna do what we do. Okay, now I just did this. Having a moment. Hold on, because I want to get that textbook definition for you. So the textbook definition of a coach or a life coach is a professional who helps individuals achieve success in different areas of life. be that career, relationships, health, finances. And I mean, there's a coach for all seasons, basically, of your life. If you need help with getting your finances together, there are financial coaches. If you need someone to help you in writing your book, there are book writing coaches. If you need a coach to help you with your health goals and wellness goals, there's a coach out there for that too, right? Good morning, Goddess Halaku. So that is the textbook definition of what a coach is. Now, for me, I break it down to this. What a coach, thank you, does. A coach is a cheerleader. The coach is an accountability partner. A coach is a person who won't let you hide behind your excuses. They bring out the best of you. They guide you into whatever end result, end goal that you are looking for. So the same premise can also be true for your spiritual coaches, your spiritual guides, your healers, etc., your tarot readers, your energy healers, your herbalists, those that you hire for a particular reason. Their job is to use whatever tools they have to get you to the desired result. Everybody clear on that? All right. So when I have clients, I've had, and I am proud to say that one of the oldest coaching clients that I have had was in her 70s. And I was deeply honored that she hired me to not only teach her master level Reiki, but to also coach her. Deeply honored by her. And to this day, she still supports like everything that I do. And I love her. I love her. I love her. So I have coaching clients that are in their 40s, that are in their 50s, that are in their 60s. And I just talked about the goddess that was in her 70s. And what I love about the work that I do is you start off, because I always want to talk about where you are right now. And then we want to talk about where you want to go. So my job is to get you from point A to point B so that you can live in the joyous happiness energy of point C. Because in that, we're going to get you to growth. We're going to get you into the place that you desire to be. That is the goal. Now, the moment that I realized that coaching, that being a guide, a coach, a teacher, whatever name you give me, was the thing for me. So let me go back in the day a little bit, not by much, only like a decade or so. So I was a licensed real estate agent here in Georgia. And I got into that profession because, number one, I was told by someone else that I would make a good real estate agent. Number two, my dad and I, before he passed, talked about both of us getting our real estate licenses and working together. So it was kind of like I wanted to honor that from him while also, tapping into doing something that I love because I love helping people. I'm good at sales, to a degree. And so I got into that. So what ended up happening, and I didn't realize was going to be the thing, as a real estate agent, you do a lot of coaching. You do a lot of coaching, you do a lot of hand holding, you do a lot of cheerleading. I am the number one stunner to talk you off of a ledge, because the clients that I had in real estate, that I would have to talk off of a ledge every time something went wrong or something like that. And it never failed. At the end of every transaction that I had as a real estate agent, they would come to me and say, thank you for always being there and talking me off of the ledge, for cheerleading me, for not letting me give up. And then they would say, you should be a motivational speaker. You should be a coach. You should be this. You should be that. And, I took it and I was like, yeah, okay. And I just didn't really pay any attention to it. But then it kept coming up. So that's kind of how I ended up in coaching, is because I've always been coaching. I just didn't realize that I could truly make a living doing this, doing what I love, which is helping people, helping them realize their dreams, helping them clear out their energetic blocks so that they can move into a space that they want to be in. So let's talk about the next point of why paying Black coaches builds the whole community. So I know paying for things can be a bummer for some people. But here's the thing. We're always paying for something. There's nothing in this capitalistic society that we do that we don't have to pay for one way or another. Healing with the coach. Yes, goddess. Yes, absolutely. So let's talk about this. So it is a known fact that Black-owned businesses reinvest in the community. And this is documented. This isn't, hey, Goddess Nikki. This is not just me saying this just for the sake of saying it, but it is true. Black-owned businesses, we reinvest in the community. And when you think about it like this, understand that the mainstream coaches, the well-known coaches, the non-Black well-known coaches, they have teams. They have teams which consist of their assistants. They have content creators that they hire because they'll have like a social media person that takes care of their social media. They have schedulers. They have people who take care of the customer service part of their business. So if someone is dissatisfied or they can't access, the platform that they need to log into to take advantage of whatever the program is, they have those people. They have a team of people, which this frees up the main coach to be able to create, to be able to do what they need to do to prepare to serve their clients. And what that does is it creates jobs. And most Black coaches are a one-man or one-woman show. And it's not really because they want to do everything alone, but it costs money to be able to hire a staff. So if you're not regularly bringing in the money, it's kind of hard to hire a staff. Now, I've had virtual assistants. I've hired people, for like a one-off thing that I might need or whatever. But I myself am looking forward to the day of when I can hire someone to be my assistant. I love doing the work that I do, but it's really hard when you're doing it all by yourself. All by myself. It's hard. It's hard. So paying us properly means that we can hire our own teams, which means more jobs, opportunity. And this can all take place within our community. Because if I'm thriving, then why would I not hire people who need the job and not just need the job, but a lot of the staff that these people hire are already business owners themselves. Because like I said, they get social media managers, they get virtual assistants, they have people who this is what they do. So it expands beyond just you paying that coach. Because yes, the coach is earning a living, but they're also helping others earn a living as well. So it's a domino effect. So everything that I do right now, in full transparency, is, like I said, it's me. I'm doing it. I'm creating this stuff on Canva, which I'm not gonna lie, I think that will be the hardest thing to let go because I like doing it. Excuse me. But I'm the one that's doing that. I'm the one that is putting the emails together and getting the automation together and doing, those things and preparing for like I have an upcoming group cohort, which is a group coaching program that I've put together. I'm putting all that together, getting it prepared, getting it ready for the women who sign up for that. And yes, Goddess Nikki, it is. It's hard wearing so many hats because a lot of us not only wear the hats of all of these things that we have to do within our coaching business, but then don't even talk about the hats we wear in our private life. That just compounds because we have responsibilities, as everyone does. And what I feel, if I were, once I'm not, if I were, no, changing the language. Once I am able to start hiring a staff to assist me, thank you for the repost and the share, Goddess Aaron, then this would help exponentially, not just me, but to be able to hire someone and give them work, give them the opportunity to expand their business, their career. And sometimes some of these coaches have other coaches that work under them. So like, it's a dream of mine to take on mentees as far as Reiki is concerned, because what I would love to expand with my school is to have other Reiki practitioners that I train that are also instructors on the platform. So they can also get part of the profit being part of the umbrella of my business. See, I'm trying to build a holistic spiritual empire. And I want to have other healers, other practitioners, other coaches who are part of this. This is how we build within the Black community. My thing is I want to train whoever wants to be trained to work under me so that eventually they build their own. But they still can be part of the building of mine and be paid, be compensated for the work that they're doing and not doing it for free. This is how we build within our community. We build networks. We build our businesses together. So let's get to point number 3. Let's talk about money. Money. First of all, money is energy. And yeah, I know we've heard this time and time again, but I need to go and we need to talk about this. Money is currency. We call money currency. Why do we call it currency? So let's think about this. Money is meant to be moved. It's supposed to move. It's supposed to move through our community. As Black community, we know this, how money comes to us through our paychecks and immediately leaves our communities. It doesn't go back into our community because it goes into these other business owners that are in our communities and other businesses who advertise to our communities. And I'm not speaking against us doing that. I'm not, because we all do it one way or another. But what I'm saying is this: if we're trying to build wealth and build within our own, because we've made this commitment that we're going to do that, then we have to start understanding that money is currency, and currency is meant to move like electricity. Think about it like this. We all have lamps in our home, right? Most of us have lamps. I got a lot of them. I got a lot of them. But you all have a lamp in your house. Well, the lamp doesn't work by itself. You have to plug that into the wall. What's in the wall? The electricity, the currency, the movement of energy that will transfer from that energy source to light up the lamp. That lamp ain't worth a damn if it's not being plugged up. It's not going to give any light. It's not going to give any power. It's not going to do its purpose until you plug it in. We need to be plugged into each other, because that's how the currency moves. I hope this is really working for y'all, for you to understand what I'm saying, because nobody's really saying nothing in the comments, and it's kind of throwing me. But that's okay. I see y'all talking to each other, and I like it. But currency moves. You also think of a current when it comes to water. In a river, in a stream, the water moves with the current. I know there's salmon. Salmon swims against the current, which a lot of us are doing, which is why a lot of us are exhausted, and a lot of us can't get to where we want to go because we're too busy fighting against the current. But if we went with the flow of the current, that's right. With the flow of the current, that's what money is. It's currency. It moves. So then there's the myth. Good morning, Goddess Tabitha. There's the myth that healers shouldn't be paid, or that they shouldn't be charging. I cannot tell you how many times I have gotten on any app at any given time where somebody is complaining about a spiritualist or someone charging, and then they're like, you shouldn't be charging because back in the day they didn't charge. Lies. That is a lie. And I really need us to get out of that. I really need us to stop that. Stop it now. If you're going to sit up here and say that healers, practitioners were never charging, that is a lie. I'm going to calm down. Just because back in the day, the form of payment was different than what it is now. Hello, Goddess Tamika. Just because it was different than what it is now doesn't mean it didn't exist. So my mentor, Abiola Abrams, talks about her great-grandmother, Ma, all the time. She talks about her in her books, in her talks. And she talks about her because Ma was a midwife. She was a healer in their village in Guyana. And so most of the time, her form of payment came in livestock, came in fruits and vegetables, came in other things that were valuable. So she was paid. She was compensated. Healers back in the day were paid. They were compensated. You did not go to a root worker and not give them money for the spell that you wanted, for the reading that you wanted, for the tincture that you wanted, They weren't just giving that away. They knew it was valuable, and you had to know it was valuable too by bringing them whatever the currency was at that time, what was valuable at that time. So we've always paid our healers, our readers, our teachers, our divine guides. I think where the problem came, and this is just me being real, when it came to spiritual work, I think what messed everything up was church. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of people don't trust pastors. And pastors are, you know, as much as I hate to say this because I got pastors in my family, but pastors have made people weary and leery about giving a spiritual person money. Why? Because of the taking advantage of the people and charging at church and saying, God wants you to give this money. If you don't give this money, God can't bless you, and all these different things. I talk about this in a portion of my book, The 7 Steps of Spiritual Liberation for Black Women. I have a section called Will a Man Rob God? And I talk about this in the book because I think that it is important that when we're doing deconstruction, that we deconstruct that part too. But I need to let everybody know this. And if you are a coach, healer, someone who is coming up right now, and you are afraid to charge people, I'm just going to spell this out for you right now. Y'all listening? Hey, D the Queen. All right, I'm going to say it. We live in a capitalistic society. We live in capitalism right now. We cannot avoid that. We can't get around it. We can't get under it. We can't leapfrog past it. We just can't. Okay? Thank you. We can't. That's first point of that. We can't get past that. We can't. So since we live in a capitalistic society, that means you got to pay for your basic needs, which is food, shelter, clothing, transportation. We don't live in a walkable country. We don't. So you got to pay for your transportation. You got to pay for the electricity going through your house. You got to pay for your internet. You got to pay for your equipment that you use to show up online. You have to pay for the home that you live in, the car that you drive, the car insurance, the upkeep of said car. If you got children, you got to take care of your children. If you got a spouse, you got to be in partnership with your spouse. You have all of these responsibilities. We live in a capitalistic society. Why in hell's bells do we keep expecting people, just because they're doing spiritual work, to work for free? Why? Why? Because our medicine women and medicine men back in the day were taken care of by the community that they served. They didn't work a job. Their job was to be available for the people that they served. And the people that they served took care of their needs, their housing, their clothing, their food, and anything else that they needed. They were taken care of. They were looked after. They were protected at all costs. Even though, they had their own way of putting up protection. But I digress. So once people start getting over that and understanding, we live in a capitalistic society. There ain't nothing we can do about that. And that's not going to change anytime soon. And I'll just be real. I don't think there's any place on the planet that you can live where you ain't got to pay to be there in one way or another. I remember one of the hardest parts of when you're doing this work full time. At the time, I was doing it full time, but then something came up, and that something was my aunt had to be put on hospice. And since my aunt did not have children, she was not married, had never been married. She had elected me to be her person that's in charge of her, uh, like her medical stuff and everything else. Well, since she really didn't have a lot of money or resources, my mom and I both, but mostly me, took on the responsibility of being her caregivers at end of life care. Well, my girl got dementia. And with dementia, if you've ever taken care of someone who has Alzheimer's or dementia, you know that is a very difficult journey. So during that time, it was very, very hard for me to do this work and get paid because I couldn't show up. I couldn't do what I normally was doing. I couldn't. All I did have were like the evergreen things that were like the do it yourself classes, courses that I had available. I had to just, at one point, I had to just stop taking Reiki clients, stop taking clients for readings because it became so stressful. And it became more stressful because that meant money wasn't coming in regularly. So that is a very hard situation to be in, and not uncommon for a lot of us who choose to step into these roles as the creatives, the intuitives, the coaches, the healers, the light workers who said yes to this work. So that is why it's important for us to be paid for what we're doing. I don't mind putting out free content. I do it all the time. I enjoy it. I enjoy having things for free available for those that can't afford to pay me. I have those things. But I also have stuff that you've got to pay for because I worked hard putting that together. And when you hire me as your coach, you can bet your bottom dollar I am going to show up. I am going to be there. I'm going to give you everything that I got available to me to help you get yourself. You have a good day too, love. Thank you. To get you to where you want to be. But we have to understand that money is energy. It's an energy exchange when you hire someone to do a job for you. You hire a plumber. Yeah, I know you still bitch about that too because they do be charging a lot of money. You hire electricians to come into your house. You have to hire somebody to take care of your car. So let's go ahead and bring this whole thing home. Support Black businesses. Support Black coaches, healers, light workers, the yoga teachers, the dance instructors like Goddess Nikki Cinnamon, who was on last night and was doing her sensual movement routines and teaching about that. Hire those Black women who have that. Hire Coach Everything Erin, because she can show you how to take the things that are in your imagination and turn it into a beautiful book. She can show you because she knows how to do that. Or you can hire Everything Erin to talk about political stuff and listening to her podcast and supporting her in that. But if you are wanting to do this and make this your lifestyle, your business, I'm inviting you to charge for your services because you are worthy and deserving of compensation. None of this was ever meant to be a lecture. It was always about us starting a conversation because I want us to do better, to be better in our community. We're making great strides. I'm so proud of us because we are supporting Black businesses. We are making a stand and saying, you know what, we're going to support our own first before anybody else. I am so proud of us for doing that. I am so happy that we are showing up for one another and, advertising each other's things. I love to see it. I want more of it. More. Because I want more Black household names. I want more of us. Because Black women, we're magical. We're magical. We are the mothers of society, of earth, of everything. We're the blueprint. So if anybody can guide you to anything, it's a Black woman. It is. Hair toss. Because we know we bad. We know we badass. We are. So I just want to say, if you are sitting at the edge of, should I do this or should I not? Or if you need some guidance, I'm here. I want you to get in my calendar for a sit down. Just no obligation. We just gonna sit and talk about where you are right now, where you want to go. And I'll tell you what I have available to you. Or if I feel like we're not compatible, I'll tell you that and tell you someone that maybe you might be compatible with. Because I'm not a hoarder. I'm not. I don't believe in that. If I feel like I can't help you or you need something more than what I offer, then I'm going to send you to somebody that I know of that can help you. Because that's just the way we're supposed to do it. That's how I feel that we're supposed to do it. Referrals to each other, right? But yes, get in my calendar. Let's do a 20-minute discovery call and just talk about it. Because, who knows? You might just need me to give you a few sessions with Reiki to help break up the energy so that you can feel more confident, that you can feel more clear, right? But we need to sit and talk about that. We definitely do. So before we go, let me go. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry. All right. So I had pulled a card earlier. I posted it on my Substack, but I want to share it here because I feel like it's a really good message. I pulled it from, before I do that, The Good Tarot by Colette Mary Reed. This is not a deck that I use all the time, but when it calls out to be used, it never, ever disappoints. Never. Ever. So I want to show you. Substack first. Ace of Water is what came up. Ace of Water. And if you can't tell, that was a seahorse that's on that card. What I love about that is the seahorse has deep spiritual meaning. It's about patience, adaptability, and then quiet strength. And then if I read a little bit more on when I Googled it, it says as a spirit animal, it encourages you to move gracefully through life's emotional currents. There's that word again. Trusting the timing of your own journey and protect your inner peace. So this card comes up. It's about unconditional love, overflowing abundance, the fertility of love. And it says, I am filled with love from spirit and joyously let it flow out to others, where it fertilizes the seeds of co-creation. I need you to understand something. We're all in a beautiful co-creative dance with spirit. We're all in this beautiful co-creative dance with spirit. Love gives me hope, shining brilliant light on all the possibilities available to me. I am optimistic about bringing dreams into being. Spirit always informs me and guides me, allowing me to illumine the darkest places. Here's the part that I want you to meditate on. I am optimistic about bringing dreams into being. I am optimistic about bringing dreams into being. I want you to be optimistic about bringing your dreams into being. And I need you to understand that I am here to help you, guide you into bringing your dreams into being. Because I am optimistic about helping you bring your dreams into being. So, everybody take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Thank you all for joining me. TikTok, don't go nowhere because we're going to talk about something real quick. Substack, thank you all so much for being here. Bye for now.